Oh, it
Yeah,
is
it's time.
time.
We made it, buddy.
Good job.
The music's over. We're here.
The music's over.
So, before I get into the thing I don't like about Pokemon that's directly related to what the fuck you were just talking about, I did want to say this is super off the wall and this is information that anybody can do what they want with. Uh, Build-A-Bear is making an adult version of their products
When you say
now.
adult version, there are two ways that can go.
So, not like full-blown like adult sex shop stuff, right? But they're making a line that's apparently I sent it to my wife because I thought it was funny. Um, they're making a after dark line designed for adults. Most of
Hmm.
these stuffed animals center around alcohol, sports, or dating.
Oh my goodness.
So Valentine's Day is right around the corner. You can do with that info what you want. Um, but the thing that I don't like about Pokemon that was directly related to how you and Andrea can like talk to each other about the game and
Yeah.
whatnot is the online functions for that game.
Well, save it, Cody. We
I
got to
had
get to it. Hold on. We're not
I
even
know
there.
I
We're
oh
not
my
even there.
god
One thing at a
I know we're
time,
not
man.
okay. Well, as we all know, I've been playing Pokemon this week,
Yes, you have
and
been
that's
playing Pokemon. Oh no, you're freezing. Airplane mode didn't work. Oh no.
I'm back. I'm
All
back.
right, welcome back.
I get this nice little notification nowadays.
Yeah,
Your internet has gone out. Your internet's been restored. I
it
don't
is
know what to
so
do about it.
frustrating.
I
Well,
just need a router. I need a new
so
router. I'm broke.
that might be it. Yeah, let's sell
Look,
some
when
of
I
those
sell this
Pokemon
condo,
cards.
dude, when I sell this condo or whatever, I'm gonna make buku money, like my yearly pay plus some. So
Upgrade
I'm gonna
time.
make some improvements on some stuff. Speaking of Pokemon cards, I do have an unopened. I have an unopened tin right here.
A whole
Um,
tin. How many packs
yes.
is that?
So it comes with like 4 normal packs of 10 Pokemon cards, but it's the 20th anniversary edition. So it
Oh,
comes with 6 packs of the 20th anniversary cards, which are all hollow. And so
nice.
they're
It's
pretty
like a
nice.
collector's pack kind of thing.
Kind of, in a way. I have another tin right there that I opened up the other day. Nora had said she wanted to open them up with me, so I'm just kind of like
Oh,
saving this
sure.
one for whenever she actually comes back around to that thought
Yeah.
process. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she was giving me shit about playing Legends recently or whatever. I think I talked about it last week, but
Hmm.
hopefully base set Charizard in here.
Very nice. Very nice.
Or not base set, but 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
What have you been playing, sir?
You know, Shane asked me to plug this, so Shane, this one's for you. Got the boys together and we played some Intruder. We did
Oh
like
yeah.
a 3-on-3 match with just all of us,
Okay.
and it was way less overwhelming than playing with random people, and it was an absolute joy. That game is so fucking weird. I love that you can like pretend to be dead. At one point, I was playing guards, so I was like defending, and
Right.
I saw 2 intruders, and they didn't notice me, so I threw a frag in there at them. It
Mm.
blew up. I go in there to check them out. I see 2 bodies laid out, so I get on my radar. I'm like, all right, 2 kills confirmed. As I turn to go away, boom, I get killed. Turn around. All I can hear is Dakota being like, gotcha. He was not dead. He was pretending to be dead. And those are the kind of moments that game's all about. And yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun.
Oh man, that's so good. That
Yeah.
sounds like such a good time. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah. But yeah, other
I
than that, obviously, putting time into Pokemon Arceus.
yeah. You were saying Andrea's been playing it a lot more than you
Yeah.
have.
And I think she's been playing it the way you're playing it, where you really spend your time in a zone and try to
Yeah.
like knock out the dex entries and catch everything that you can there, which is not how I've been playing. I've just been doing the story for the most part. I just recently started kind of dipping more into the side quests, and
Right.
fuck, I am so not having fun doing that. So I'm going back to the main story now.
You know, oh, have you just not liked the side quests that you've been able to do, or
Like they're fine, but I like that feeling of progression from the main story quest. Like I
right,
want to get everything I have
right?
available to me. Like same thing, like the mild spoiler for Pokemon here. You get the unknown decks,
Yeah, yeah.
and there are areas that I haven't been to yet. So I like read
Mhm.
this entry, I'm like, this must be somewhere that I just haven't been yet.
Yeah.
So that's put me off of some of that kind of stuff. But
I've found 2 of those, by the way.
yeah, I think I
Not
have
looking at the
too.
decks, just like running
Oh,
around,
you've just seen
right?
them.
Yeah, I just saw them.
Yeah. Can you
Did you
read?
find the?
Can you
I
read Unknown pretty well?
no.
Okay.
Like I was talking to my wife about this last night. I was like, "Oh, they got this cool little thing in here. I'm supposed to be able to read this. I don't fucking know what the hell it says. Like it's supposed to be letters. I,
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
the Unknown, right? They're modeled after the English alphabet. So like each
Yeah.
letter is like a different form of it.
Mhm.
It was funny because Andrea was watching me play when I first got that, and I opened it up and I was like, "Oh yeah, in the tree under the thing," and she was like,
Mhm.
"How did you read that? What?"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even think that, like, of course,
Yeah.
not everyone just knows, like,
Yeah.
because I was into Pokemon when like the Unknown were introduced or whatever, so I was like, "Hey, I know all about this." Um,
Yeah, I remember when they were introduced. I just never. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just like the shapes that they're in or whatever. Because I know it's supposed to be English or whatever, but it's not
yeah,
quite.
it's
The
definitely very
so like
distorted.
I'll look at it and I'm like, nah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Like I know there's like an E there and an A there. Like I can kind of tell.
Yeah,
I just
I
looked
was
like I
really
don't.
surprised that there's not any other way to like decipher them or like
Mm,
get them like turned into just normal English because they don't like give you any clues. You just have to figure it out.
yeah. Well, you know what? I'll take that honestly. Um, because like if I get too frustrated, like with that Bidoof side quest
Yeah.
that I know you struggled with for a little while,
Oh
no
yeah.
joke, I had to look that shit up
Dude, that
because I
was
found 2 of them. I could not for the fucking life of me find the third one. I ran around that fucking village for 20 minutes and I was like, where the hell is this bitch? And then he was in the shade of a fucking building.
yeah, right next to your house. Yeah.
Yes, and I was like,
I know, dude.
how
That
did I
one.
miss
You know
like
what's
this
really
whole
funny?
time?
So two things on this point, right? First thing,
Yeah.
this game has some difficulty, and that is very
Yes.
welcome.
Yes.
Second thing, the Bidoof quest, legendary. Oh my god,
Yeah.
everyone fucking hates this quest. It was funny. I completed it, and then I watched Andrea start it, and I was like, "All right, just ask me if you need help because this
Yeah.
sucks."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I literally, she walked by the one next to her house. She like
Yeah.
looked past it like 5 times, and I'm just like over here cracking up, like you don't even know, dude. And
Yeah.
yeah, she determined, it's kind of got camo over there because its
Yeah.
butt's kind of like a log, like the color
Yeah.
of its butt just blends in.
Yeah.
Perfect
Yeah.
camo.
I mean, like, I'll give Game Freak this good placement, right? Um,
Yes.
wasn't expecting that from a fucking Pokemon game, though, right?
Very
So it just kind of like,
difficult.
yeah, it threw me through a loop or whatever. I was like, what the fuck? So, the question that this is supposed to be, by the way, is Pokemon Legends still fun
Yeah.
after a week?
Yeah.
Dude,
Is
this
it?
game is fucking amazing.
I agree.
Um, it is, and just we were talking about this before the show because we can't stop talking about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Too.
Just so you know, like I have almost 40 hours in the game. He has about 10.
Mhm.
Because I've always loved exploration in games, and honestly, that's normally what makes it so I don't finish games. Is because like I'll be too busy exploring and stuff, and then I'll get burnt out. So I'll put like 60 hours into it. But like with Pokemon, I'm just having such a good time looking in every nook and corner or whatever. Because like last night, I went back to the second area and I'm looking around. I'm just doing some side quests. And then I was like, oh, I haven't been to this area yet. I was looked on the map and I was like, I haven't been into this nook or whatever. And then I found Turtwig just
Yep.
hidden or whatever. And
I
I was
know the
like,
exact spot,
it's
dude.
only place it spawns. And so I was just like, what the fuck? But there's like, excuse me, there's that like everywhere.
Yeah, there's
There's,
really, and it's not just like Pokemon too, right? Like it's cool because you can find like interesting nodes or just like interesting uh set pieces in the world. Like you find these
Mhm.
ruins and you see like what must be like legendary Pokemon. And I'm sitting here trying to figure out like what legendary Pokemon are these? What is this? Or like
right.
what is the significance of the name of this zone? Like there's a
Yeah.
lot of interesting stuff you can kind of like think on.
Well, I found some like fucking cave painting shit yesterday. I was I'm at the point where I have the mount for riding through the water, and I'm riding through a cave, right? Because I'm heading to the quest objective, like the main storyline. And then as I'm going full speed like through this fucking cave, and then I went skirt, I stopped, and I like backed up, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And it's like yellow cave. It's like in yellow paint, and it's like a cave painting or whatever. And I was just
Right.
like, "What?" I was like, "What is this?" Like, I have no idea how to decipher it. I don't know what the fuck it's supposed to look like, but it's you know what it reminds me of? I don't know if you remember this, but in Skyrim, in Whiterun, when you go in Whiterun and you go under the bridge, there's that triangle with the circle around it or whatever underneath the bridge, and it's I don't know if you know about this.
I'm not sure.
If you go into Skyrim, you'll see what I'm talking about. I have no idea what the fuck that symbol is, and that game's been out for over a decade. Like but I've always wondered, and I was always like, oh, is this like some secret? I remember spending a bunch of time like running around that first area in Whiterun or whatever, just trying to figure out. I never saw that symbol anywhere else either. So I don't know, but it's just something like that. But it
Okay,
just
yeah.
gives the world like life.
Yeah, this game, I think more than any other Pokemon game that I've played, does a really good job of world building, and it feels
Yep.
like, other than, your character being teleported there, everything feels very like authentic within the world. Like you're part of this town that's just like slowly like building up and like getting more people, and like you were talking about earlier, you actually see your town evolve over time,
Mhm.
like more buildings kind of pop up, your farm
Yep.
gets expanded.
They
um
have the little immigrant thing or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah, the
like
people
story
who have
beat.
like come from like all different regions. Like I just did
Yep.
a quest for a guy, bringing him some ingredients so he could make some kind of muffin, and he was like, "Oh
Yep.
yeah, I this was a traditional thing back in the Galar region."
Yep.
That's something that I like. Like they reference like the other regions of the game and shit.
Did you notice that they referenced the Galar region with the main building, the Galaxy headquarters building?
Mm-mm.
So if you look at the building in the front, you have the two Magikarp on the left and the right. But on the left side, when you're looking at it or whatever, there's steam coming out of a Galar version of Wheezing. It's
Oh,
got the
for
two top
real?
hats. Yeah, if you
Oh
look, yeah.
shit, I'm
And
gonna have
I
to
just
look at
noticed
that.
it the other day. Yeah, I just noticed it. Yeah, I was like, is that Galar coffee? I was like, oh no, it's Wheezing. It's Galar Wheezing. It's like the
Yeah,
top hats. Oh, okay.
there's a
So
lot of
it,
cool little details like that.
yeah. And it's all over the place. And just it's just a, don't get me wrong, and I we were talking about this earlier too. The what Pokemon is doing at this point isn't new in the grand scheme of gaming. It's just new to Pokemon, and it's such a needed change that people are excited. So excited that it is now it had the second best first week for a Switch game ever. In the first
Yeah,
3
dude.
days in Japan, it sold almost 1.5 million units.
Big
Like,
numbers, dude.
yeah, it's only behind Animal Crossing. Like we have to put that into perspective. Animal Crossing came out during the pandemic.
Yeah.
What would Pokemon be at if this was 2020 pandemic? Like, like Sword and Shield wasn't super exciting. Like I got excited because it's Pokemon, but I mean, outside of the wild area or whatever, it was a normal Pokemon game, and there wasn't
Yeah.
a whole lot new to it. Um, this is just like if this shit came out in 2020, I bet you it would surpass Animal Crossing
Mm-hmm.
because it's just crazy. The departure from the old, run straight through this route, through all these routes or whatever. Like it's a very linear story. I've spent so much time in these areas just looking around kind of thing that I had to
Yeah.
force myself to do some story to justify
Yeah.
some of my playtime because I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, there's not a lot
It's
of bad stuff to say about it. I have seen people online with some negative views on it, but it's mostly just
yeah,
like curmudgeony old Pokemon lovers who
it's
just
boomer shit.
love doing the same stuff over and over again. Like people
I
complaining about there not being gyms or like not having trainer battles. Like I love that I don't have to like fight 7 people to get from point A to point B.
Yeah, I'm there with you. Like I don't mind trainer battling every once in a while, but like it's the reality is you can catch like 5 Pokemon in the time it takes to battle one. You know what I
It's
mean?
so
Like
nice.
so, and
Kind of
with
respects
the
your time that way.
it does, but I just the way they allow you to um approach each Pokemon differently based on the research.
Right, and they behave differently too.
They do. And so that's the only thing I think is really missing from like the behaviors is like they run around a little bit, which is fine. But I wish you could see them like eating things and stuff like that more often. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
just some more
And also
behaviors.
fighting each other. There is
That
zero
would be
Pokemon
very
trying to fight each
interesting.
other.
Yeah.
But I think that would be an awesome addition to what they have here. Is
Yeah,
like
that would be a perfect like I in a lot of ways this is kind of like a Monster Hunter World type game.
correct. Yeah.
And if they could flesh out the biomes more and add things like that, like
Mhm.
certain Pokemon attacking each other or there being like an alpha predator Pokemon, that would be
Right.
really cool to see fleshed out more.
Bro, could you imagine if they expanded on the alpha Pokemon that's already there and like another alpha Pokemon like walks into one alpha Pokemon's territory and it ends up being like a fucking kaiju fight because
Yo.
it's like some big ass motherfucker. Oh my god, dude. That would be so cool. Like that would be awesome. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
It's
there's a
just
lot of potential. And I mean, the game's super successful, so
yeah.
we're either going to see some more DLC for this one, wouldn't mind seeing some of that, or definitely we're going to see another release in the Pokemon Legends series at some point.
Yeah, I agree. There was speculation when the original trailer came out that they were gonna have because there's those three storybooks on top of each other, and it opens up the first one. And that it either meant three games in this like timeline, or like the main game, and then a couple of DLCs are planned,
Hmm.
kind of thing was like the idea.
Yeah, and that's like the way the story's going. I feel like when we get to the end of the main game and see why why we are here doing this, that's going to be our
Hmm.
hint whether we're going to have like a continuation of what's going on here or maybe the next Legends game will be like some totally different region doing something completely different. Who
Yeah,
knows?
I mean, even if they get rid of Legends, like maybe they just have Legends Arceus or whatever Arceus. Excuse me. They can't get away from this formula, what they have right here. Like, if you want to
It's
go back to the
good.
mainline game, that's fine, right? You want to bring it back into like the present and all that kind of stuff, but you cannot get away from this open world exploration that you've built here. Like, it's just too good, and Pokemon in and of itself fits this formula like perfectly. You know what I mean? Like you said, Monster Hunter. Could you imagine Monster Hunter? You run around the way you do in a fucking mainline Pokemon game. It
Yuck.
doesn't
No,
make
it'd be
sense. You know what
awful.
I mean? I don't know, man. It's too good. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it definitely
Anyways,
fits.
yeah, I could talk about Pokemon all fucking night.
Oh yeah,
We
we
should
know.
probably move on.
Yeah. Yeah. Other popular things. Have you heard of Halo? Are you familiar with Halo?
I'm familiar with Halo. I haven't played it in about a month though.
Yeah, you know they did just put out an actual fix for Big Team Battle. We got a crew of
Mhm.
like five of us together playing together
Okay.
without it crashing. We got into matches. It played pretty well. I was happy to see that. You can also actually see your fire team, like they're a
Oh,
different
nice.
color, like they're supposed to
Okay.
be. So that was cool.
Right.
So
Oh, fucking
three
right.
four three, taking one step forward, baby steps,
Slowly but
baby steps.
surely. Yeah. I saw a tweet, I think it was yesterday or the day before. Somebody was like, they not only did they fix big team battle, we got a scorpion take 2 minutes and 30 seconds in instead of at the end of the match.
Yeah, that was
And I was
another
like,
thing.
I
Apparently,
was like, oh shit. Okay.
the tanks are weighted a little. It's still like the tank spawns are random. All the
Yeah.
vehicle spawns are random, which is awful. But yeah, you get them a little more. It's too bad driving the tank feels like
Mhm.
ass.
I mean, yeah, the tank mechanics weren't super good, I don't think, in the campaign.
Yeah, very
But you only have the
weird.
one
It's like
really
one
tank.
primary mission with it,
Yeah,
right?
with the tank, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all
So
right.
yeah, Halo Infinite still touch and go. You know, I'm jumping in for some matches. I'm getting mad. I just submitted a bug report where when I get hijacked, my character gets teleported across the map for like a second, and then I get teleported back to where I got hijacked, but I'm like falling over and over, and I move really slow.
Dude, tell me you have this on OBS. Tell me
Yeah.
you fucking
Oh
clicked it.
yeah.
I need to
I'll
see
send you
this.
that clip. Yeah. Remind me about that one. It's so
That's
fucking
so good.
annoying. Yeah.
That's so good, dude.
Fucking
Oh
wacky.
shit.
But yeah, I don't even want to
Uh,
talk about the game really. I want to talk about the trailer that they just put out for the Halo TV series, which is going to be on what Paramount Plus. I think it's going to be streaming
on the
on.
worst fucking
I
one
yeah.
possible.
I hope you
I've
want to
heard
get
nothing
another
but
streaming
critical things.
service.
Well, I've heard nothing but terrible things about Paramount. Like people compare.
I didn't
I saw
know
some,
it existed until saw this trailer.
Oh yeah, dude. It's been out for a little while. But I see people complain about like HBO Max, and I saw somebody come out and be like, "You hate HBO Max? Wait until you get in Paramount Plus to watch fucking Halo. Awful. It's just
Ooh.
awful, awful." And I was like, "Oh god,
Yeah.
yeah, god."
Yeah, I mean, based on
Yeah.
the trailer, I'm not sure if I'm gonna jump in there. I'll wait and see what everyone thinks.
This might be one of those ones that I wait for the whole thing to run through, and then like you get that 7 day
Get
free
it and then just
trial,
watch
and you just watch it
everything.
all at the same time, and then you get out of the free trial.
Yeah,
Um, because don't get me wrong, it's Halo. I've been waiting for live action Halo since they did those like little teaser
dude.
shorts or whatever, the
Yeah,
Halo 3
like
ones.
Forward Into
Things were
Dawn and shit.
fucking great.
Hmm.
No, no, Forward Unto Dawn the little miniseries they did.
I don't
I
remember. That
think
was the
it,
only name that I could think of.
yeah, no, it was, they did do a miniseries back in the day of like Master Chief or whatever as like a student
Oh,
or
I think
whatever.
that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, yeah,
They did a different thing. You can YouTube these where it
yeah.
was
The
like
live
three different.
action little
Yeah,
vignettes.
with the brutes or whatever
Yeah. Oh
and
my
whatnot. Oh my
god.
god, dude, that shit was fucking phenomenal
It
back
was,
in the day.
you know, it was so cool. I just saw a clip earlier today of that scene where the brute's like chasing down the trooper, like I don't know if he's
Mm,
ODST or whatever, but he's got the
yeah,
gravity hammer and he hits
yeah.
the dude and the dude
It-
hits the wall and there's just blood splattered and he's
oh
just
yeah, dude,
gone. Like,
it's super gory and everything.
yeah.
And then you had the dude who got his armor stuck with the
Oh,
spiker
mm-hmm,
bullet
mm-hmm.
or whatever, and you got the medic trying to cut through the spike, and the one dude's like,
It's so
ah, he's like,
intense, dude. It was like
it's
Band of
super
Brothers,
good.
but Halo. Like
Yeah,
that could have been awesome.
yeah, that's not
Um,
what this TV series looks like.
No,
Not
dude,
at
and you
all.
know what? Halo's not a mature rated title anymore, so I don't think it's gonna be much of a mature series either.
This is the only thing I don't like, and this kind of ties into Pokemon a little bit. Is I hate it when these video game series ignore their audience that they grew up with, right? Like the audience that got them to where they are now. Like,
Hmm.
hey, that original audience are fucking adults. They want to see some adult shit or whatever.
There's definitely something to that.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a little bit like if you watch the trailer, like Master Chief, he's got the alien blood on his mask or whatever at one point, but it's just like, man, show me what that mask like broke as shit, like glass all over. You know what I mean? Like what?
Real
Like not that
gritty.
I want
Give
Master
me the
Chief to
gritty,
lose.
gritty Halo.
Yeah, like not that I want him to lose or whatever, but like, hey, look, he just got his ass beaten Infinite and in the opening fucking cutscene or whatever for the campaign. Like, let's see some of that because that shit was like cool as fuck.
Hmm.
Just to show that he's not like invincible. You know what I mean? A little bit of humanity to him and stuff like that. So I mean, like I said, we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm not super worried about Cortana.
Oh,
Everybody's mad she's not
yeah. Let's
blue,
talk about that. Cortana. How do you? Okay, everyone's mad because she's not blue, which I get
and she doesn't
because
look
why
like the
should she be?
original actress.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just like the look that they went with is kind of weird and just like out of nowhere feeling.
I think the problem with the Halo TV series, right, is it's not only going to cater to video game players that are trying to watch a TV series about it. It's trying to cater to an overall audience. Some blue AI chick or whatever that's half naked isn't necessarily like, the biggest draw, especially in today's environment, right? Like let's just be like if you look at Cortana from Halo 3 to now, she's got clothes and people were mad about it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like I don't it's just not the right environment for that kind of stuff. And I think they wanted like an actual person because of the like love interest or whatever between Chief and
Oh yeah, I've
Cortana.
seen
That's
people
like
talk about that. Do you think that's going to be like something that they focus on for the show?
I think it's something that they're at least gonna touch on, and I think to not weird the normal person out that doesn't just like already know Halo,
Make her
they
look
made
less
it look like a
digital.
real yeah. Instead of making it look like you're trying to fuck a sex toy
Hmm.
or like one of these AI sex toys or something that are out these days, they're like, hey, this she looks like a real person, that's why he loves her, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? And I
That
just
could
have a
be.
feeling it's more about that. It's more about catering to the wider audience and not just the Halo audience, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
So do you know where this is supposed to be taking place in the timeline? Or I've heard that this is like
it's a
not
separate
canon.
timeline.
It's yeah, like the silver timeline or
Yeah,
something they
yeah, they
call it.
called it the so they literally when they did the teaser
Yeah.
a few months ago. They came out immediately and were like, "Hey, this is a totally different timeline. Not like we're doing all of our own shit with this. Like, it doesn't affect any of the normal stuff or whatever that you guys are
Dude,
used to."
that gives me hope because that's where Cowboy Bebop fucked up with their live action, man.
It's true.
They tried to
It's true.
make it the anime. They tried to
Right.
stick to that timeline and do that shit, and that was not good. So I hope that since they've already come out and said, hey, different timeline, different canon, they're not going to be afraid to really like push the limit and like do
Right.
some like crazy shit.
Who makes the Alien movies again? Who's the
Alien, Ridley
director?
Scott?
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought it was. I just want to make sure I didn't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Get him to recreate Halo 1 as a movie with
Bro,
the flood
he
and
should do a
everything.
movie based on Sergeant Johnson. Oh my
Oh,
god. I just watched The
yeah.
Last Duel recently, which is Ridley Scott. And dude,
Mhm.
the way this man does violence in his movies, top tier. Top tier.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I
Yeah.
love it.
Well, I just love what he does with like the Alien series,
Hmm.
but now give him the flood, right? Like
Yeah,
because
that's
I
not
feel
too
like that
far
just
off. Yeah.
works really well for what he does. And just remake Halo 1. Just like remake that story as a movie and just go from there with Ridley Scott. I think it'd be fantastic.
Man, yeah, that's definitely like I'd be down. I'd be down to see what he does with it. As long
Yeah.
as he quits bitching about people streaming movies instead of going to theaters to watch them.
Oh my god. Look,
Baby.
hey man, speaking of that, me and my wife saw Venom 2 in
Ooh.
theaters recently. Kind of caught it on the tail end of its theatrical release and stuff like that. Venom 2, not a super good movie.
But how's
It's
Woody
okay.
Harrelson in it?
He's decent. There's this here's different tangent, but real quick, you can see everything they're trying to do. They just didn't fill it out enough in the movie for it to make sense at the end, or to
Oh.
like logically like how you got there. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Because there's like a couple like betrayals, I guess you could say, and it's just like
betrayal.
if there would have been a couple other like interactions throughout the movie or whatever, it would have made total sense at the end. But it's not there,
Just
kind of
missing a
thing.
few things.
Yeah, yeah. So you can see what they're going for. It just didn't hit. It didn't land very well.
Oh my.
Um,
This is kind of like a good jumping off point to the next topic.
it is because you know what? Sony bought Bungie and it wants to turn Destiny into a fucking movie, which
Yeah,
I'm
dude,
here for
maybe.
it. I'm here for it, baby. Like, let's see
Destiny's
it.
got cool like lore shit deep, deep, deep in there. A movie would be
Look,
cool.
look. As long as they don't make me scan a QR code halfway through the movie to go to a different website and get the lore to make the next half of the movie make sense,
Oh man.
I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? Like, I they're
$3.6
never gonna live
billion,
that down for me.
dude.
Yeah, $3.6 billion.
It's a hefty price tag.
There's a couple ways to take this, right? Um, there is the storyline out there. All right, so just to squash something real quick, even though I have said this, right? Talking shit to a really big Sony fan recently or whatever. Uh, Sony did not buy Bungie specifically because Microsoft bought Activision. Like that is not what it is. You can't just buy something for $3.6 billion overnight. Like this is obviously something that happened over a couple months. Um, but I will say that I think I think Sony did buy Bungie for more because reportedly they offered to sell themselves to Microsoft for less. Like Bungie's been looking to get acquired,
Hmm.
basically, and they offered themselves for less. About 1.5 billion is kind of the number I saw being floated around.
Hmm.
Um, so I do feel like Sony did make this move because after the Activision acquisition, Sony was willing to pay a little bit more money to ensure that they have a shooter on their platform going forward. Because the current agreement with Sony is that the next three Call of Duties and whatever Warzone 2 is will be on a Sony platform. After that,
Who
nothing
knows?
else is guaranteed.
Yeah.
Nothing is guaranteed after that. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a smart move to kind of like, you were talking about your Pokemon earlier and having different move
yeah.
coverages for it. Like, this is kind of
Yeah.
Sony doing that maybe. Like, here's our first person shooter coverage with this
Yeah.
company.
Yeah. Well, they also came out and said There was a bunch of info that came out from this. One of the big things that came out is about that by 2026 they want to have 10 live service games, and that's one
Saw
of the
that.
reasons why they acquired Bungie because of their live service experience. 10 games
It's a lot.
in 4 years? Like some of these got to be like card games or something, like a
Something
Hearthstone.
simple.
Yeah, like there's no way you're gonna have 10 fully fleshed out in 4 years. Like they just don't have the studios.
It's
Like
very
really,
bold. Yeah.
realistically, and like that's I guess that's like the target. But the fact that's even the target is kind of like that's a lot. I would think like five would be kind of like a reasonable number. Be like, okay, I could see five happening. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah,
for them, because usually their thing, they've always
mhm,
touted their single player experiences.
yeah,
So that's definitely a shift for them.
right. Well, I think they're finally seeing where the market or where gaming's going in general, and Microsoft is spearheading this. I don't care what the fuck anybody says; it's very obvious, right? Microsoft is spearheading the subscription style version of video games, right?
Yeah.
Um, and Sony is going to copy that, right? Like this is what's happening at this point. Spartacus is a thing. We don't know the details, but it's supposed to be a Game Pass competitor. After sometime last year, Sony was like, we don't see that as a money maker. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Now Microsoft is making these acquisitions to bolster Game Pass specifically, and Sony's like, oh shit, and it's kind of a little bit of oh shit, you know what I mean? So and now they're trying to kind of do the same thing, and they're kind of copying. Now Sony has great single player games, but unless they release them day and date on Spartacus, and Spartacus is a competitive pricing, like there's no, I just don't see how it works out for them. Um,
Yeah, it's hard to compare. It's going to be hard for them to stack up to what Xbox is doing right now,
right,
unless they offer a more competitive price or
yeah.
they have like way more expansive library than I expect them to have. I don't know what they're going to do.
I don't really know. I honestly don't really know either. But it's not like Sony's a pushover. You know what I mean? Like they got something. The thing that worries me about all the rumors we've heard, well, it's not even really a rumor. It's basically been confirmed that Spartacus is going to have a three-tiered system, like a three-tiered subscription system. That worries me, right? Because even Microsoft's isn't really tiered. It's just more like, do you have a computer? If you have a computer, you pay us $15 a month. You can get all the PC offerings we have. You know what I mean? If you don't have a
Hmm.
computer, just pay us $10 and you still get all Game Pass. That's really like there's no like really gating. It's just like what do you already have access to kind of thing.
Right.
The three-tiered subscription worries me that they're gonna gate people out of content if you don't pay more, and that I
Hmm.
think is gonna be a killer.
Yeah, it's hard to say, right? Because I feel like what they could be doing is trying to set themselves up as like the premium uh service, right? Like people are
Mm,
maybe they could make it so it's like you pay more, but you really feel like it's a premium service that's worth paying more for somehow.
right.
I guess that would be like day one AAA games. You get PS Plus bundled in there with your
Hmm.
subscription. I don't know, dude. Sony's got all kinds of shit. They could throw movies on there. I don't know.
That's true, and that's kind of the difference, right? Is Sony does have their movies and their music and stuff like that or whatever. They got a bunch of music, right? I'm
Yeah.
not
Oh
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I just I'm really really curious to see how the three-tier subscription goes, but I am happy for Bungie. They have backing from a major company. I'm hoping and it's not Activision, right? Like Sony has
Yeah.
such a good track record of how they treat their developers and stuff like that or whatever. So I'm actually really excited for the
Mm,
future of
what about
Destiny.
Days Gone, dude?
Other than Days Gone, but I have a feeling part of that is the relationship with
Yeah, that's
the
what we heard a
people who
lot.
made the game because they just seem the people who made the game. I'm very grateful you guys made that game because I absolutely love that game. But the leaders in charge of that project needed to like if they wanted the next one made, I don't. It sounded like they needed to stop being dicks and just kind of like work with the Sony executives kind of thing. That's what it came out like. I don't know. Days Gone 2 would have been great. I'm assuming. Um, Look, if you want if you want to play a good zombie simulator, play Project Zomboid. It's way
Ooh,
cheaper.
that's another thing Shane wanted me to talk to you about. He wants to play that game with you, really bad.
Oh, yeah, let's fucking do it, bro. I'm awful,
Uh,
but I had it on Desura back in the day, um, when it was just like the one street or whatever. You
hmm,
know what I mean? And then like you just got a certain amount of time to like get your shit together, and then
very
after that, it was
basic.
like you just barricaded yourself, and you're like, ha ha ha,
See
get
how long you
away!
survive.
Yeah, it was more like Call of Duty Zombies. Now I've been watching these people on YouTube play it. They're like driving cars. You can drive like there's 4 maps or whatever. You can drive in between them if you have a car and shit or whatever. But like
Okay.
there's a bunch of craziness to it. Like it's very, very in depth, and I've been wanting to play it, but I'm like I have to finish Pokemon. Like I
Yes,
have to.
dude.
So like I have the YouTube videos, so I'm still getting the fix of Project Zomboid or whatever. So I'm focusing on actually finishing because I have ADHD when it
You
comes to
gotta
video games.
finish
I
the
will,
game.
yeah. I gotta get to the end. I gotta make it. So yeah,
Yeah. So yeah,
it's a
to go
thing.
back to Bungie for a second, do you think we'll see Bungie keep focusing on Destiny 2, or do you think that, they're partnering with Sony now? Are we going to see a new big single player experience from them?
Well, so I guess Bungie has um has had a new IP in the works for a little
Hmm.
while now. I don't know if you knew that,
No.
but I've seen that thrown around, and I saw that thrown around originally. So something else we didn't hit about this, but I'll hit it right now. Originally, what was being thrown around is that Sony bought them because Destiny 2 is going to continue to be multi-platform, right? It's just too late in its life cycle to like trying to make it exclusive kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, but I saw people being like, "Oh, they bought Bungie to make their next IP exclusive." But then Bungie came out, right, with their very nice FAQ, and basically said, "We are retaining all of our creative rights. We get to choose where our games go, what platforms, and stuff like that." Is basically what they were saying. There's some wiggle room in there, right?
Sure.
Because they did say their games will remain multi-platform. That doesn't necessarily mean that they will continue to come to Xbox, but it basically guarantees that they'll be on PlayStation and PC, is
Yeah.
what it is.
I wonder if it'll be like one of those things where it's like plays best on PlayStation and we'll see catering to PlayStation for their games.
I don't know. I don't know if Bungie would be cool with that, because we've seen the exclusive content for PlayStation for Destiny already, right? Or like early access to multiplayer maps and stuff like that. And that community fucking hates that shit. Like absolutely hates it. But I feel like the reason why they were doing it at the time is, they were part of Activision, they were trying to get more money because they were having funding issues and blah blah blah. Now they got the funding from Sony. I don't it wouldn't surprise me if we saw like certain skins or something like that. But I don't think we will necessarily see something as crazy as like a whole multiplayer map that's only on PlayStation. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? I just don't think Bungie is going to jive with that. Just because when you read all the stuff about it, it doesn't seem like an acquisition as much as it seems like a partnership between the two companies,
Yeah, it's
kind of
definitely
thing.
framed, kind of like how Microsoft is very, or Xbox is like, seems fairly hands off with the studios that they acquire, right? Like I just was
Right.
listening to the Xbox podcast and they had Joe Neat from Rare who heads Sea of Thieves,
Mhm.
and he was espousing how great it is to be on that team working on that game because
Right.
they literally just say like, okay, here's what we're doing with the game, and their bosses are
Mhm.
like, all right, sounds good.
Yeah.
They just kind of get to do what they want as long as it's working out. It's
Right.
working out.
Well, and in that deep dive that Xbox did, right? Their little documentary that they did
Yeah.
about themselves. They used Lionhead. They talked about how they
Yeah.
use Lionhead as like a learning experience. Like, hey, we never want to do this again. I think that's really like I wish Lionhead was still around, but
Yeah.
it seems to have been like the sacrificial lamb for a better future for kind of gaming in general. Now that
Right.
we're kind of
Because
watching where everything's going.
they took Lionhead and they were like, do this. This is what you're doing. And this sucked. And it
Yeah.
destroyed the studio.
Yeah, yeah, totally destroyed the studio. Which, by the way, if you want to play a game that's also being made by former Lionhead developers, Kinseed, it's on
Oh.
Steam. or Kind Seed,
I don't
KYN
know.
Seed. It's kind of like a Stardew Valley looking type of thing, but
But
it
like
I have a feeling.
generational, like you play and you get old and then you play your kids and stuff.
Is that what it does?
That's what
Is
I
that
was
what?
reading. I was looking at it a little
Okay,
bit. Yeah.
I just watched that video and I was like, this looks cool.
Yeah,
I
it's
always felt
charming
like,
looking.
yeah, I felt like I was waiting for the twist for when all of a sudden things became dark and evil
Right.
and you
It's
started
all
having to like
chill.
kill shit. Yeah, but it's like chill the whole time. Um,
This
but
talking
yeah,
about Lionhead, this is a good way to transition to our next topic. You know, Lionhead got destroyed. It's very sad, but Peter Molyneux, who's the head of Lionhead, you know, he's gone on to do more games. And now he's espousing blockchain games and
oh man,
NFTs.
I can't. I can't. Like the I won't lie, me as an investor, I like the idea of a blockchain game. If I could play a game and get some crypto, like that in of itself sounds okay. All the other shit that they're gonna do to like nickel and dime you for things or whatever scares the fuck out of me. You know what I mean? Like it makes me worried for gaming overall. You know what I mean? Because NFTs suck, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just a racket, dude. I watched this like 2 hour documentary on YouTube yesterday, just kind of like diving into it, and yeah, it's all such bullshit.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of companies disagree though.
I mean, because people are dumb and it's an easy way for the companies to make money. That's really just what it is. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. But Troy Baker backed off his NFT claims.
Yes,
He's
Troy
like,
Baker did turn around.
so we need everybody to turn around
Yeah,
because
and
it
we've
seems
seen a lot of companies do it. Like I saw this article god on GameSpot, and
mm,
it talked about companies that are doing NFTs or their stance on NFTs. And
mm,
Konami's full board. They don't give a fuck. They're gonna NFT their entire like backlog of games. They're like
oh my
selling
god.
pixel art of Castlevania as an NFT and calling it video game preservation. Fuck Konami. Ubisoft is still, you know, they're one of the
Of
companies that
course.
actually put NFTs
Yeah.
into a game as like a digital item you can get.
Hmm.
Square Enix, the president, made that whole speech. And again, Peter Molyneux. GameStop's doing some like weird NFT things. Behavior Interactive. Do you remember Eternal Crusade? Those guys
Yeah. Yeah.
went on to do Dead by Daylight. They had a whole fucked up NFT thing with Hellraiser.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of gaming companies that seem to be trying to make this a thing. But on the other hand, Nintendo has made a statement saying that like we don't see how this is fun for games, so we're not really interested. Love to see that. EA's kind of like backed down from it. Xbox, Phil Spencer's like, yeah, it just seems like people are getting ripped off, so I don't think so. Team 17, the Worms people, they
Okay.
announced this whole like Worms NFT thing that they were doing. And
Hmm.
within 24 hours, they backed down because there were developers who they were the
Hmm.
publisher for the devs' games. Those developers
Hmm.
were like, hey, NFTs are fucked. We will never have NFTs in our game, and they are bad. And so Team 17 was like, yeah, actually, those are dumb. We're not going to do that. This is scrapped. Um,
Oh man.
so yeah, it's a mixed bag. I think for the most part, the big, you know, Nintendo, Xbox, and Sony's just kind of like they haven't really said anything on the game platform. They've done
Yeah.
some stuff with like movie tickets and like some music things, but it doesn't seem like any of them are really interested in pursuing this technology.
Yeah. The fact that the big three, and I actually love Nintendo's quote the best or whatever, and you put it in here, so I'm gonna read it. It says, "We do have an interest in this area. We feel the potential in this area, but we wonder what joy we can provide in this area, and this is difficult to define right now." So all they're really saying is, we understand that there's money to be made and that we could make money for investors, but we can't make it fun, so fuck that. Like that's really what they're telling their shareholders or whatever. And so they're just like, we're not going to do that. Which, for as ass backwards as Nintendo is half the time, at least they know not to fucking do that. You know what I mean? Like, I,
Yeah, it really
but
goes with their
I
image of, you know, everything is about play with Nintendo. You know, that's what
right,
they've always put forward first. Is it fun? That's what we care about. Are people having
yeah,
fun with this product?
yeah. but the fact that the big three, Nintendo, Xbox, and Sony, aren't doing it is all you really need to understand that they're bad. Um, that's just what it is. And there's not a whole lot we can say about it. Like NFTs are bad, okay? Like that's just what where we're at.
You don't want to
And
be
we just
sold a hyperlink to a PNG
no
file? Come on.
to a possibly stolen PNG file. I was reading something
Dude.
today. There's so much theft going on where these people have basically made these accounts and they're just going on to like DeviantArt and just like stealing pictures, just
Mm-hmm.
because that's all it is. Right click, save PNG or JPEG or whatever,
Yep.
and then they're minting them and selling them and whatnot, claiming it's their own
The amount
and
of
making
art
money
theft is
that way.
insane. And then on top of that, people will defend it. They'll be like, well, if you cared so much about your art, you should have turned it into an NFT before I did. Like, fuck these
Yeah,
people.
yeah. That's not how life works, right?
Fuck.
I create something and then you just take it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
it's
I made
wacky.
it, and so it's just whatever. It's just dumb. What's not dumb though is Rockstar announced that the next GTA game is actually in development.
Oh my god.
People can stop losing their shit.
GTA's fucking dead. Rockstar's fucking
Oh my
bullshit company.
god,
All
dude.
they care about is GTA Online.
Yeah, like people can stop losing their shit. I will say I don't know what the hell they're gonna do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm
Um,
curious, man. Like every GTA is kind of its own beast, so
yeah,
I'm excited to see where they go next. I hope it's a Star
I'm
Wars GTA.
dude. What if they did do a futuristic GTA?
That would be wacky, dude.
That'd be
They could
great
do it, you
coming from
know?
them.
I mean,
Yeah,
the framework for GTA just it works in like any setting. You could put
it
that
really does.
game in any setting and make it work.
Yeah, because half the time, well, the GTA's I played the most, or the GTA I played the most was I think it's GTA 4, where you're the
Yeah.
immigrant or whatever.
Nico Bellic.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just like you can put that in space. You can put that same exact story, space,
Yeah,
new GTA. You know what I mean? And people will fucking play it.
absolutely.
So, but yeah, I'm excited to see what storytelling because GTA 5 had really good storytelling for its story, and then also um, Red Dead.
Yeah.
Very good.
Oh man.
I never finished, but very good. Everybody tells me it's great. I played Red Dead the first one, so I know
You
it's
get
got to
it.
be
You get the
good.
gist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't play GTA 5, so I'm really curious to see what 6 is going to be. Skipping a
Mhm.
generation here myself and dive back in eventually.
Yeah, I just it's what's wild to think about for me is that GTA 5 came out before I went to Afghanistan on the Xbox 360. That was
Wow.
2014, dude.
So long
2014.
ago.
Like, holy shit, it's almost been a decade since I was in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And that's when that game came out. I still remember because I was living in an apartment with Emily and stuff, and I
Mhm.
remember trying to play GTA Online, and it was fucking shit. It
Right.
was awful.
Now
And then
that's
it turned
like
into
the
this whole
game.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it turned into a whole thing. So yeah, man, I just
If you could have your ideal setting and like character for the next GTA for GTA 6, what would it be?
medieval, not fantasy, but medieval. Like, let's make a new Fable. All
Oh my
right, that's
god.
not Fable. You know what I
Like
mean?
they had that top down Grand Theft Auto horse thief or whatever.
Yeah,
What was
yeah.
that?
Wrestler.
Wrestler,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's make a AAA version of that.
Expand on that a
You
little
you know what
bit.
it makes me think of is a Knight's Tale.
Oh
Let's
my
do it.
god. Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
fucking
It's
do it,
goofy
dude.
like that. Yeah,
Yes.
dude.
Let's fight. You see, who's that one dude who they see walking naked down the road in the beginning of the movie?
Oh
He's
yeah, I forget his name, but yeah,
yeah,
he's
but
like
he
the
like
announcer.
yeah, and he forges the fucking stuff. It's perfect. It's like
Yeah.
a GTA fucking story,
It
really.
is. Yeah, that would not be out of place in a Grand Theft Auto game, man.
Right. So like, yeah, let's
Just
do it.
some
Let's go
goofy
back in
shit.
time. Let's go back in time. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
think it would be fun for them to do a very different setting, something that's not a modern setting in that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh my god, I just had a huge burp. I muted myself.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
The timing, crisp.
Yeah.
Um,
So, oh man.
I wish Tim was here for this.
I do too. Do we want to save it for next week?
Yeah, we could just because I mean I don't think we have much to say about it. Mortal
I don't,
Kombat
but
stuff. Come
yeah,
back
Mortal
next week when
Kombat.
Tim's here.
Yeah, because he'll have way more thoughts on it than either of us will, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So
What else we got? Jeff Keighley made some kind
Hmm.
of vague tweet about more big acquisitions in the gaming sphere.
Yeah. So Tim and I were actually talking about this earlier this week, and so I'm more curious your thoughts because I know what if I was going to choose one more acquisition or one acquisition to happen, I know what I would choose. What would you choose? What would you want to see?
What would I want to see? Another big gaming acquisition. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. I would love for someone to acquire Tail Worlds and fix Bannerlord too.
Oh
But
yeah, that'd be great.
that's not a big
No,
acquisition.
no, it's not.
Like,
It's not big,
yeah,
but that
I
would
don't
be
know.
cool as fuck.
What do you imagine here?
I think Microsoft acquiring EA is a it's a massive, right? Like it's a massive acquisition at that point, right? But the things it brings to Game Pass, Madden, NHL, FIFA,
Well,
Battlefield.
doesn't it already bring those things with EA Play on there?
Yeah, but you don't have to then pay for the EA subscription and stuff like that. It's just going to be day and date on there because one of the things that people waste the most fucking money on is the yearly releases of sports games. Let's abolish that. Let's just fucking get rid of it.
See,
You know what
this
I
is
mean?
exactly why it's not going to happen because EA
I know
knows
it's
that
not.
they're on
I
this
know.
bullshit mountain that like will always
I know
exist.
it's not. But the thing is, for Microsoft, it makes sense in the fact of then they would own Battlefield, they'd own Halo, they'd own COD, they'd own Doom. Like they would basically almost corner the market,
The
except for
shooter.
Destiny,
Yeah.
on shooters. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then
Mm,
they also almost corner the market on sports games because then they got Madden, NHL,
yeah.
and FIFA. Madden and FIFA are the biggest ones out there. The only competitors that they wouldn't own at that point would be 2K, the basketball series and stuff like that. So it's just like,
You know, we get so many people talking about like antitrust issues when we talk about Xbox acquiring places,
yeah,
but I think what the gaming industry needs is like anti-genre trusts. Like you own too many genres. Like you have too many
yeah,
shooters. You need
yeah,
to get rid of one of these
yeah.
shooters and get an RPG over
Well,
here.
dude, could you imagine if they own Dice? They own if they own Dice and id and 343 like
Yeah, that'd be
and all the
wacky.
dudes Treyarch and all those like shooter companies or whatever. What could be made with? Imagine taking Dice destruction system into Call of
Oh my
Duty,
god.
man.
You
You
know,
know what I mean?
that's
Like,
something that they talk about too is like remember when Xbox got PUBG or whatever? They were
yeah,
like, "Oh yeah, we're going to be able to like work between studios and share technology and like the Sea of Thieves guys will help the PUBG guys with their water."
yeah.
That never happened.
Well, yeah, I don't think it happens in like current games, right? I think those conversations and those sharings of technologies happens for like future games and stuff like that. Because a lot of that stuff is already like hard coded into the game of like what shit looks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think having all that experience under one umbrella and being, quote unquote, a telephone call away. But for me, it's more just about bringing my sports games to Game Pass. It's really what I'm trying to
Oh
get at.
man, yeah.
It wouldn't be good for Sony fans at all. But I don't when it comes to monopolies and stuff like that. I mean, Phil said it himself. He's like, we're still third in gaming revenue behind Sony and Tencent.
Yeah.
So like, I think even if they acquired EA, I don't think they'd surpass Tencent in gaming revenue kind of thing on a yearly basis. So I still don't think the monopoly thing comes into play. For Sony, though, I think that they should acquire FromSoft
That would be
because
big. That would be a
it
really good move.
it's big and I just feel like it fits Sony. Like
Yeah.
Sony is the Dark Souls platform, you know what I mean? And that's all that FromSoft really does. So you know what I mean? So it just makes sense. It just makes sense to me. Like FromSoft fits the single player offerings that Sony has and bolsters that, while Game Pass and Madden and all those kind of games, like it just fits Game Pass if it was to like go like that. You get what I'm saying?
I kind of see what you're saying.
So
Like these games that like have yearly titles that come out, and
yeah,
versus something
or
like Elden Ring.
right, or they just don't come out every year anymore or whatever because they have Microsoft's backing.
Oh, that's
You know
the
what I mean? And they
dream.
just kind of get away from that. And even biannually, or not biannually, what was it, bi-yearly? Biannually is twice a year. Whatever. Even if they gave the sports game 2 years, like would be a huge improvement over this yearly release stuff because you don't see a whole lot added into that into the games and
Yeah.
stuff every year.
Yeah, those games
So,
definitely need something to like pull them out of the
or
nasty rut that they're in.
or just turn them into fucking live service games like they should be or whatever.
Right.
They're the perfect live
You
service
don't need to make
platform.
new ones all the time.
You can sell the rosters as DLC for $5 and people will eat that shit up. 100%. 100%. I don't, and anyways,
You know,
those are kind of my thoughts on that kind of thing.
a big acquisition that I think would also make a lot of sense would be Sony buying Square Enix.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like Final Fantasy. I mean,
Yeah.
14, dude. They make a lot of
Yeah.
money on 14.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the thing. The reason why I don't think Microsoft will acquire EA is just because they need a Japan studio or whatever. Like that is like the one hole in their entire portfolio right now is not having a Japan studio kind of thing. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that would be more realistic. Um, but yeah, in my dream world, EA goes under the Microsoft umbrella and I don't have to buy Madden every year anymore,
It's a nice thought.
kind of thing. That's what I hope for, but we'll see. In the meantime, I'm just gonna play more Pokemon.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Pokemon is still a complete joy. I'm glad that you haven't cooled on it because, a lot of games you get into, you're really into
I
them,
do.
and then you
I
cool
do.
off and you're like, I don't
Yeah,
care
I
about
do.
this anymore. So it's
Yeah.
good to see the fire still burning
It's
40
like
hours in.
it's like that Toy Story meme or whatever or whatever.
Oh,
I don't want to play with you anymore.
game that I just bought 5 hours
Yeah.
ago. Like,
Yeah, dude. Oh man.
oh shit, that's
That
funny.
is kind of what it's like sometimes. Did I tell you? Funny little story here. I when I went to Kansas City for the Chiefs game last week or whatever, I brought my VR headset and I had my dad try Blade and Sorcery for the first time.
Oh,
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, he was losing his ever loving mind
hell
because
yeah.
he's really into fantasy stuff and he always has been.
Okay.
Was a big World of Warcraft player and all that kind of thing. So he's
Mm-hmm.
sitting here like stabbing bitches in the face and he's like, "This is awesome!" Like.
Hell
And
yeah, it
I'm
is,
like,
Dad.
yeah, I'm like, Dad, it is awesome, but you're gonna hit the dog. Like, chill out for a second, like, because he's got a big old Great Dane, and she's just
Oh
like, her,
boy. Yeah,
walking
I'm here to
around or
play.
whatever,
Yeah.
and he's over here swinging his fucking arms and shit all over the place.
Oh
It's
yeah.
super
Oh,
funny, dude.
Zenith. Did you get into Zenith yet?
I no, so
Okay.
the reason I haven't been on my VR headset basically at all because since I'm taking care of, uh, just full disclosure, my wife had a hysterectomy, right? So taking care of the wife, taking care of the kids. Honestly part of the reason why I have so much time in Pokemon right now is because it's easy to pick up and put down and like
Oh, okay.
pause and
Yeah.
walk away from and kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Do
Like
whatever
something
you
happened
gotta
with the
do.
kids, right? If I get into the VR headset, like, and
You're
then I'm like in the
gone.
middle of
Yeah.
something or whatever. Well, and I also play in the basement, right? So like
Mm-hmm.
only time I can play is really in the middle of the night and just kind of a whole deal or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
so that's part of the reason. Honestly, that's part of the reason why I have so much time in Pokemon is because even like getting on my computer, it's like it's not as easy. I've played a little Project Zomboid this past week. I got like a couple hours in kind of thing, but the kids and fucking Genevieve got in my lap the other day and ripped my space bar off my keyboard and
Oh
shit like
no.
that. Just like
Not conducive
it's
to
just
gaming.
difficult. Yeah, it's just difficult. But the great thing about the Switch, and I will always say this, I love their controllers because like now when I'm snuggling a baby to sleep,
Yo.
having the ability to have like move my arms wherever to be able to play instead of having to have them together with a normal controller is the best.
They could
If
have a
you're a parent,
slogan, dude. As your
oh yeah.
child drifts to sleep, your controller drifts away.
Oh man, that's good. Yeah, but no, yeah, the having the Joy-Cons being able to have them separate and stuff like that is just so much more conducive, especially when my child has one of my Xbox controllers, is acting like she's playing with me
Yeah.
or whatever, and like then I have my controller in front of her, and she's like, "Oh, your controller is doing everything." Well, if I have my Joy-Con, my
She
hands are
doesn't
off to the
know.
side. And she doesn't have any idea, and she's like, "Oh yeah," she thinks she's doing all this stuff. So
Yes. Nintendo,
yeah,
thank you. You've made it a little bit easier to trick children for a little longer here.
it's true. It's true. Yo, she keeps taking my Switch off the dock. Like when I'm not
Oh.
playing it, she'll pull it off the dock, and I'm like, "Stop it, stop it!" And she's like
This
trying to
isn't a
pull off the
portable
controller.
system, okay?
Well, she's trying to like pull off the controllers and stuff. And my
Oh,
left,
yeah, those things break easy.
right, my left one comes off really easy because when I was in Korea, I dropped it
Hmm.
like off like a fucking desk or whatever, and like so it just made that like slot kind of loose or whatever. I can just kind of push the bottom of it with my thumb or whatever, and
Yeah.
it'll pop up. Um, but the right one is fine, like it'll stay in there like it's supposed to. And yeah, so she'll get the left one off, and then she's like trying to take the right
Oh,
one off,
no.
and I'm like, "Oh my god, you're gonna break it! Like stop,
Oh,
stop."
these cool,
Children.
colorful controllers. Or do you have what color
I have the gray
Joy-Cons? You
ones,
just got the
dude.
gray ones. Yeah,
Yeah, I
imagine
have the
if you had like
basic.
the neon ones like I
Oh my
have.
god, dude! I wanted them too back in the day. I remember that.
Hmm.
I was sad I missed out. You know what I still want is an Animal Crossing Switch,
God,
like
it's
actual
so
Switch.
good looking.
Yeah, it looks fucking fantastic.
Yeah, they need
I
to do
can't
more
justify buying it.
special physical editions like that because that's super cool. I would love they need to do more pro controllers. They have
That's
done
true.
one model of the pro controller. You
Yep.
could be doing different colors. You've got the
Yep.
translucent. They made a translucent black controller. Who wants translucent black?
That's what
Like
I
that's
have.
so
That's what I
boring.
have.
That's all there
Because
is. That's
yeah,
all Nintendo
yeah.
makes
I
anyway.
mean, well, they got the hardwire ones that are like Pokemon.
Yeah,
I've
I don't
seen
want to
hard,
fucking
but
plug in
nobody
my
wants fucking
controller, dude.
hardwire. Yeah, like that's the
That is
problem.
the
Nobody wants
goofiest
hardwire
thing.
control.
Yeah, it's like Power A makes all of the Nintendo Switch kind of like third-party controllers like that,
Right.
and 90% of them are hardwired.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't understand. Like
Yeah,
once
neither
again,
does
this
Nintendo.
is like going back to Nintendo. Why did it take you 4 fucking years to just turn on the Bluetooth?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
why? Like why? Like I will never for the life of me
Insane.
understand. Like it was asked for from day one, and then the one day they're just like, "Oh, it's like your grandpa that can't hear you." And it's like, "Grandpa, can we get Bluetooth? Huh? Can we get Bluetooth? Huh?" Like, come on now. Like, I'm
That
sorry,
is
I'm probably
absolutely
peeking
how
the
it
mic.
feels.
So, but yeah, it's just,
Um, yeah. The only other thing I wanted to mention was Book of Boba Fett. Still watching it. Got a sweet new hat.
oh yeah,
Ooh,
it
ooh.
looks good.
Tim,
Ooh, I like the underneath.
I was hoping Tim would be here and be really jealous. So I'll have to wear it again next week.
Uh,
But new episode was wild. It was not really, is another non-Boba Fett episode. It was more of we're doing some crazy shit that is expanding our Star Wars universe a fuck ton. And is really cool and fucking awesome. So watch it, check it out. It's super cool. But I want to get back to Boba Fett, dude. It's been 2 episodes of no Boba Fett. Come on.
I'm sure next week we'll bring back Boba Fett.
Yeah, because
Hey,
there's only a few episodes left, I think.
yeah, are you gonna get Dying Light?
Oh yeah, you know what? It's funny we didn't mention this.
No, we didn't.
I'm
But
not
I just
going
looked
to.
over at the Twitch stream, and 4 out of the 6 recommended channels are
Yeah,
Dying Light 2.
yeah, it just came out. I heard it's pretty fun. It just, I don't know, the gameplay loop doesn't look that interesting to me. I like that
Mhm.
it's all first person. I'm not really into the RPG elements of it or the
Yeah,
plot too much.
yeah, yeah. I'm broke. I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
But that's just really.
I'll
It's
play it when
pretty
it's
simple
on
for
Game
me.
Pass, you know.
You know what? I wish it was on Game Pass.
You know.
But I mean, hey, it's okay. Game Pass has so much stuff on it.
Yeah, I
But
played that
I'm
nobody hero or whatever. What the fuck is it called? It just got put on there. It's
I don't
this
know.
fucking top down. Nobody Saves the World is what it's called. It's
Oh,
like a twin stick shooter style game. You
hmm,
start off as like nobody, but you get different forms that you unlock. The first one's the little rat. Turn into a little rat and you
oh,
like
yeah, yeah,
bite
yeah, yeah.
shit. And I don't know, it's really charming. It's really fun to just fuck around and like do the different forms. I don't know. That's what I've been playing on there though, and it's been fun.
Can you do me a
Game
favor?
Pass. Mhm.
Play Death's Door and tell me how good it is.
Dude,
Because
that game looks
I'm not gonna
so good.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna be like for like legit. I'm still gonna be like waiting on my entire family almost hand and foot
Yeah.
for the next week or whatever, basically until I go back to work. Because Emily is recovering fine, but it just takes a while,
Yeah.
major surgery and stuff like that. So
Yeah, Death's
yeah, let
Door,
me know how
dude.
it is.
Bird Souls. Yeah, that looks cute.
Yeah, like it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, because I saw so many good things about it, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to play that, but
I got you.
not yet. Not yet. Pokemon. I'm probably gonna go play like another 4 or 5 hours of Pokemon before
Have you
that.
heard how long the game is?
Pokemon?
Yeah.
So the main story is only supposed to be about 30 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the fact that I'm almost at 40 hours
A lot of
and I still
side
have
stuff.
I still have 2 zones left basically.
Oh,
If
wow.
you're going if you're going by the stamps of those boss
Yep.
battles, I have 2 of those left. So,
Hmm.
um I
Interesting.
might hit like 60 hours just to finish the story. But IGN, I watched the IGN review. They said 30 hours for the story if you just kind of like stick to the story. And then there's also another 30 hours of post game content.
Oh, wow.
So if I stick to it, I could hit 100 hours of fucking Pokemon
Hell yeah.
like pretty easily. Have you started doing the wisps? You're
Yeah.
doing it. Yeah.
I've got the thing. I've been looking for him here and there. Yeah.
Did you find all the ones in Jubilife Village?
No, I haven't really been like trying to hunt him down too much yet. I
Jubilife
did look
Village
for
is
them like
pretty
an
easy.
idiot in the daytime though, and I was like, why the fuck? I couldn't find him. And
Dude,
Andrew was like,
it
it's
took
daytime, you idiot.
I'm gonna be honest, it took me forever to realize it was a nighttime
I
activity.
know. It's like super
I was like,
obvious when you realize it too. Like, of course they
yeah.
don't show up in the day.
I was just like, what? Like, I was like, why can't I see these? And it's like, hurt. It's like, oh, it disappeared. I don't know where the fuck it went.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's just like, it's nighttime. And it's like, oh, there it is. Oh, fuck. Like,
Oh my
oh,
god.
duh. Okay, yeah.
Too
So,
goofy.
yeah, good times. Pokemon, it's so good. If you
All
have a
right, we
Switch,
could
just
talk
fucking get
about
it.
it forever. I
We
think we got
can.
to wrap up.
We do. So
Um,
I can go play more.
yeah, exactly. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Do you have anything else you want to shout out before we go here?
um, there was something. I'm gonna look up Discord real quick.
Yeah, go for it. I'll do my thing.
Yeah.
20 days until Elden Ring, baby. Can't wait. Can't wait. Bullying all my friends into getting it. Ty just got a PC. I've successfully bullied him into saying that he's getting it on PC, so that's good.
That is good. I will say the thing I did want to talk about. If you're looking for a good demo to play, return to Nangrim. It's the dwarf one that I shared in the fucking chat.
Oh,
The
yeah.
17 gigabyte demo.
Yeah.
It's actually, I guess it's actually a teaser, like a play teaser or whatever.
Mm.
Um, if you want first person like dwarven crafting survival, like in Mines of Moria type shit, download it. It's on Steam. It's
Rock
good
and
time.
Stone, baby.
Yeah, I watched the video on it and I was like, that looks fantastic, but I have to finish Pokemon. So, anyways, that's all I
right.
got.
That's going to be it for us then. Thanks for joining us for another beautiful episode of OLIP. Until next week.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.